provide you information on deferment. This information will help you understand what is deferment and who can defer their high school diploma and how to defer the high school diploma and who can help us with this process. You will also learn about the program options available to our students in Broward County. So what does deferment mean? Well, the state definition says that deferring a receipt of a standard diploma is a process facilitated by an individual education plan team that permits eligible students with disabilities an opportunity to continue FAPE up through the age 21 or as determined by a school district. And FAPE means a free and appropriate public education. So what does this mean? This basically means that students that have an IEP that complete all of their high school graduation requirements can choose to stay in Broward County Public Schools to enroll in a deferment program to help them learn the skills necessary to achieve their post-secondary goals and successfully transition into adulthood. I always like to start my presentations with an inspirational quote. For tonight, I chose, "There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs." So, really, what I mean by this is that it's important to understand that students with disabilities work really hard to complete their graduation requirements, and their focus is primarily on academics. So, it's okay to stay in school a little bit longer to shift the focus to all of the other skills necessary to be successful as an independent adult. It's okay to take the extra time so that you can achieve your dreams. So let's talk about who can defer. So the two essential deferral eligibility components are as follows. The student must have an IEP that prescribes special education, transition planning, transition services, or related services through 21. This means that because of the disability, a student must and needs to continue education and their services. The second component is that the student must be enrolled in one of the following transition deferment programs, which I will review in a later slide. In order to enroll in Broward County Public Schools deferment programs, you must be enrolled in a Broward County public school. So for example, students who are in private schools, they need to enroll back into their traditional home high school in Broward County prior to meeting graduation requirements. This gives us the time to create an IEP, look at all of the state graduation requirements to see if they've met them or not, and then we can actually defer the diploma within Broward County Public Schools through our IEP process. So it's really important that we understand that. I do get phone calls from private school parents, and it's important that this information is provided sooner than later so that the students can adjust and enroll back into a traditional home high school, which might be a huge challenge because it's a big change for them. It's also important to understand that if a student can be successful without the need to continue education services and supports through the IEP, then the student would not be eligible to defer their diploma. So again, this is an IEP team discussion, and during that team discussion, the team will determine whether or not the student really needs to defer or not. Because if the student could be 100% independent and successful on their own on the adult side, then they may not meet the eligibility criteria for deferment. So it's important that you understand there is a criteria for a student who can defer their diploma. Another very important eligibility criteria is that the student must be enrolled in the program. You cannot defer your diploma and not register and attend the program. So it's important to understand that you actually have to go to the program. It's not just a placeholder. So you can't just say, okay, I'm going to defer into this program and then never show up. And then a year later you say, oh, I deferred into that program. So if you're not in attendance, you're going to be withdrawn from the program, but also you're holding a spot in the program that another student who really needs to defer and wants to defer can be in. So please understand that you must be enrolled in the program and that you must attend the program. That's really important to know. Okay, so now let's talk about the programs that you need to be enrolled in and attend. So these are some of our transition deferment program options. So the first program is for our student who might need a little bit more support. These programs, they offer the opportunity to learn life skills, employability skills, and typically these are all done through community-based instruction programs. We have our PASS programs, which is offered on all of our traditional high school campuses. This option is also available to students on our technical college campuses, Atlantic Technical College Campus and Sheridan Technical College Campus, and they offer a program called Access, which you will learn about today. And then also our ARC School of Higher agency program offers the opportunity for students to learn employment and community-based skills and really work on those life and independent functioning skills. The second option would be a structured work study or work-based learning program. We are so fortunate to offer these programs at 11 of our traditional high schools and also at Atlantic Technical College. And we call these our work-based learning programs. And we have partnerships with assisted living facilities, hospitals, hotels, and we hope to broaden the scope of our partnerships in businesses with our work-based learning programs. So you're going to learn more about these programs in our presentations from our program coordinators. The third type of program is career exploration and industry certification programs. So we're very lucky. We have 3 technical colleges in Broward, and all 3 technical colleges, McFatter, Atlantic Technical, and Sheridan, offer what's called career placement. And career placement focuses on these very important skills for success in students reaching their career goals and getting connected to some of those certification programs and all of them obtaining gainful employment. Then we have our fourth option, which we are proud to say that Broward County Public Schools is the only district in the state of Florida that offers a true college prep program. This is called our Broward College Prep Program, and this program leads to college credit and it's a fabulous option for students that really academically can be successful, but still need a little bit more support in certain areas, especially with self-advocacy and self-determination, organizing themselves to be able to get to class and being independent on a college campus, and really having that college experience so that they can really prepare for what college is going to look like so that they're successful when they transition independently over to a college of their choice. And then the last option would be our accelerated college programs. So these are our programs that are connected to career or academic dual enrollment, where students can continue to complete the dual part. They finished the high school graduation component, but now they're looking for the support to help them complete either their certification or some of those college credits. So these are our deferment options, and then you're going to learn about some tonight and then some in February, the programs that match these options. Okay, so now let's talk about the deferment process and what that looks like. So 2 years ago, the state changed all of the transition requirements in the state of Florida to start earlier. So we start a transition IEP now at the age of 12. So at the age 14, we are obligated to start to talk to students about deferment. So we really start to open up the conversation. It's a discussion. We can share the deferment information, our one-page deferment flyer, and really just start to talk to parents and students about what deferment is, all about the deferment programs that are available in Broward County. We want the students to start to hear about this so that way in 11th and 12th grade they can start to make those final decisions. Am I going to defer my diploma and stay, or am I just going to take my diploma and go off to, college or work independently without the additional time in school. So at your annual IEP meeting starting at the age of 14, you should start to hear these conversations during your IEP meeting. You should start to receive some information about deferment and what that looks like. And then in 11th grade, you need to really understand what deferment is. So the student needs to understand, the families need to understand, because no later than the beginning of the school year in which you're meeting graduation requirements, you are to sign this letter that you understand deferment and whether or not you're going to defer. So you're going to sign saying, yes, I understand deferment. And then you're going to say, yes, I want to defer, or no, I do not want to defer. And both students and parents are going to receive this information. If the student has reached age of majority, then the student's going to sign the document. And we need to have this letter back no later than March 1st within the year that the students meeting graduation requirements, so that we can make sure we're not delaying the whole deferment process, which takes a lot of time. So it's really important to know, and that you advocate for this information if you're not receiving it, that you should know about deferment, your deferment options, and all of that information. And then when your decisions need to be made, no later than 11th grade, but you should really start to hear these conversations and discussions being had at your IEP meeting starting at the age 14. So here's our one-page deferment option chart. I love this chart because it's interactive in the sense of each program has a hyperlink on it. So when you click on that link, it will take you to the program flyer. And the program flyer gives you a little bit more information about the program. So as you can see, the chart lists all of our program options, the name of the program, and the program coordinator contact information, and the transition skills and life skills and employability skills and college academic skills that the students would be learning in each of those programs. So you can kind of just see a high level overview underneath each program name, of what each program is about. And then again, if you click on the blue kind of highlighted links on the bottom, it will open up to the PDF of the flyers for each of the program, which gives you some more details about the program. It also just kind of explains up top, just the reminder of, what you need to be able to defer your diploma. And before I forget, on the previous slide, the deferment letter that was shared on the screen, just so that you know when you're at your IEP meetings, you can ask for those letters in your language as well, because we have those letters in different languages for you to help you understand that information. So again, you're looking at the deferment option chart, which we will go ahead and drop in the chat for you to be able to access. You can ask for this chart at your IEP meeting from your ESE specialist, and our support facilitators have this chart as well as all of our ESE teachers. So please just take a look at it and utilize it to do all of your research for your deferment program options. So let's talk about the step-by-step process. So on the previous screen, I showed you the one-page deferment chart. It's important for you to understand that at the IEP meeting, you can ask for deferment information, the deferment letter, and this deferment chart. So it's important that you know what to ask for during your IEP meetings. So as soon as you turn age 14, if you're not starting to receive or hear about deferment information and what your deferment options are, if you're an eligible student to defer, now you know that you can ask for that one-page chart. You know that you can ask for the deferment letter and the deferment information. So this is a great way for you to advocate for your child, or for the student to advocate for themselves. Okay, so the first part of the deferment process is that we need to obtain that signed deferment letter. So that letter needs to be signed so we know that you clearly understand what deferment is all about and that you really want to hold off on getting your high school diploma and you want to stay into one of our programs so that you can still receive the support and services from us, and then also learn those really important skills to help you be successful with your post-secondary goals. Bullet number two really states to research those programs. So on that one-page deferment option sheet, there is your contact information for the program coordinator. It's really important for you to reach out to the program coordinators so that you can learn more about those programs. Some of the coordinators may invite you out for a tour. Some of them may have some videos to share with you. Some of them might set up a time to speak with you virtually or maybe meet in person. So it's really important for you to reach out and learn more about the programs, learn about what the criteria and eligibility process is, learn about, is there a student interview? Is there a program application? So you can start to fill those applications out sooner than later. Another important part that you'll see on here is to update the transition IEP and assure that the post-secondary goals are aligned to the program goals. So we want to make sure that we're really looking at those transition assessments. We're really working with the student to really hear and listen about what are your interests? What do you want to do when you graduate high school? What are you really good at? And have those conversations also with parents, like what is the student's level of independence? What do they do at home? And what do you see them really being interested in? And then we need to make sure that we're really updating those transition IEPs. There's too many times when we look at a transition IEP on paper and it doesn't really reflect and match the student that we meet. So to the best of our ability, it's important that we really update that information in that transition IEP and really get those goals specific. I've met my high school graduation requirements. I've completed my academics. Now I really need to work on my life skills and independent skills. And I really need to learn how to get a job and interview for a job. So be really specific in what it is that you want to do when you leave high school so that we can really help you get there. Registration. Many of our programs, you may have to withdraw from the school that you're currently enrolled in and enroll in another school. Transportation may or may not be available, so you want to make sure that you're preparing for that. So the registration process is really important, and parents, please, please understand that we need you and the village to help us get this all done. So the sooner you send in your deferment letter, as soon as you give us the kind of idea of which program you're looking to defer into and set up those meetings, and the sooner you update that IEP, the better off it will be so that you can take the time to register for the necessary programs, figure out if transportation is available, and if not, what other options for transportation are we going to look into? So there's a lot of moving parts that we want to make sure that we get into place. So we really need your support with following up with whatever the teachers, the program coordinators, the transition specialists ask you for, that you try and have a really timely turnaround with that information so we can get your student all set up for their deferment years. And then update transportation and school new location. So it's really important that you understand the responsibility falls on you and your young adult to withdraw from the school that they're in, enroll into the new school where the deferment program is offered, and look into updating the transportation requests and all of that information so that we can have that in place before the beginning of the school year. Okay, so parents, let's talk about some really important big highlights. So it's really important for you to understand as a parent that your child cannot defer their high school diploma unless they have met all graduation requirements. So whatever diploma option your student is on, we need to make sure through our school counselors that they have completed all of their graduation requirements to receive their high school diploma. That is so important. We cannot take students into our deferment programs if they're half a credit short. They have to have completed everything to say that, yes, I can take my high school diploma. The high schools will allow students to participate in all the graduation fun stuff. So they can walk the stage and they can go to prom. So they're treated like a graduate. So it's kind of like behind the scenes that the student is saying, I'm going to hold off on fully graduating and taking my diploma because I'm going to stay in a deferment program to learn all that good stuff I need to be a successful adult. So that's really important for our students to understand because they're like, no way, I don't want to stay in high school. I graduated. I want to go to prom. I want to be part of the ceremony. So it's important for our students to understand that they're going to be treated like a high school graduate. And everything that 12th grader is receiving, the student will receive as well. So they're really graduating, they're just not taking their diploma and leaving the school system just yet. Also, it's important to know that when students end deferment, they can end deferment whenever they want. Some of our students come into our programs for 6 months and then they get a job and they want to end deferment and they take their diploma and they leave. Their diploma is already printed. It says the high school that they graduated from, it's the year that they graduated. So everything is exactly the same. We just hold on to it until the student decides to end deferment. Also, parents, please, please don't wait. Turn in those deferment letters as soon as possible. Make those decisions about the deferment programs that your student wants to enroll in and let us know because our seats do fill up quickly. We don't want to wait on the process. The process can be lengthy. Students need to apply. They need to interview. They need to withdraw, enroll. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on. We need to update the IEP. As you learned tonight, there's a lot that needs to be done. So please don't wait. If a program coordinator or a teacher says, I need this document returned to me, please try and do that in a timely manner. It makes our job easier and it also helps us help your young adult much better. So please help us in getting the paperwork and responding to us and communicating to us in a timely manner. Also, please make sure that your student meets the criteria for the program to enroll. You can't just assume, okay, my son or daughter wants to go to college. We're going to defer into the Broward College prep program. There's a process to that. There's an eligibility criteria. There's paperwork. They have to enroll into academic dual enrollment. There's a process. They need to interview. They need to do the application. There's a lot that goes on to meet the criteria for those programs. Students need to have certain levels of independence. If they're going to be in a business 5 days a week, rotating through departments, they may not have a person with them the entire time. So are they independent enough to do that? Will they be safe? So you really need to look at the criteria and eligibility for each deferment program and see which program you know that your student would be successful in. So really make yourself knowledgeable about what that entrance criteria is. It's really important. Also, please know that once you take your diploma and you send your deferment letter in and you say you don't want to defer, then that's it. You take your diploma and you leave. Whether you're younger than 22 or not, that's it. Once you withdraw from Broward County Public Schools, you take your diploma and you go to the adult side. You can't call me a year later and say, my son or daughter's sitting on the couch, they're not doing anything. Can they come back into your program? I cannot enroll them back in. It's not my rule. It's what the state has created as part of what the process is. It gives everybody the opportunity that's eligible to defer to do it within that time period. But once you choose not to outside of that time period, you cannot come back. So that's really important to understand because I do get those calls and parents do regret sometimes not choosing that deferment option for their son or daughter. And sometimes our kids make those decisions and they don't really understand, so we need to take the time. That's why it's important to start learning about the information at the young age of 14, because once those discussions start to happen, it gives students the time to really process what that means, because it could be a little bit confusing. So the sooner you start to talk to your son or daughter about the opportunity to defer the diploma, then they have time to decide if that would be right for them by the time they're 17 or 18 and getting ready to graduate. So the sooner we start to have these conversations, the better off everybody will be. So because we have so many deferment programs, Broward County Public Schools been recognized as having the most deferment program options for their students in the state of Florida. So I'm really proud to be part of all of these programs, and every year we open up a new program. We're constantly looking for businesses to partner with, and we really want to try and scaffold our programs so that we meet the needs of all of our students, from students who are the most supported to students who are the most independent, so that we have a range of programs that our students can enroll in. So every year we're trying to open up new programs. So what we did for our TAP session is we broke deferment into two parts. So we'll have a second deferment section on our next TAP meeting in February. So tonight we're going to talk about PASS, and the acronym for PASS is Postgraduate Alternatives for Secondary Students. We're going to talk about our ARC program, School of Higher, and we're going to talk about Access, which is available to students on Atlantic Technical College campus and also on Sheridan's College campus. So now let's get started learning.
So now we're going to hear from Veronica Wright, one of our transition specialists, and she's going to be presenting information about our past programs that are available at all of our traditional high schools. So let's just get this up.
Good evening, and thank you for joining me. I will be presenting on the PASS Deferment Program, providing an overview of its key features and the support it offers to students. The PASS program, which stands for Postgraduate Alternatives for Secondary Students, is a community-based transition model located at 28 high schools throughout Broward County. Students participate in curriculum that emphasizes functional academics, social skills, life skills, community-based instruction, and work experience. The classroom structure can vary across different learning environments with unique setups tailored to meet the needs of both students and educators. Here are a few images showcasing various classroom zones that may be present in some classrooms. PASS uses an on and off campus community based instruction (CBI) model that promotes the teaching and use of functional academic skills, social communication skills, community and independent adult living skills in the student's natural environment. This program provides students with a variety of training opportunities that will allow them to determine their strengths, interests, and access to their environment using self-determination skills, and in collaboration with staff, families, agencies, and employers, students create a life plan that will assist them in reaching their greater independence within the adult world. A school-based microenterprise refers to a student-led entrepreneurial initiative that delivers economic, social, and educational benefits to students, schools, and the broader community. These enterprises are designed to help students develop critical life skills such as personal responsibility, risk management, and self confidence while fostering independence and creativity. Several high schools across the district have already established successful micro enterprises, including coffee cafes, student design notebooks, handmade beaded bracelets, and school pantries. These initiatives not only offer valuable hands on learning experiences, but also strengthen the connection between schools and their communities. The PASS program also serves as a vital link to adult agencies such as Vocational Rehabilitation, VR, the Agency for Persons with Disabilities, APD, and the Center for Independent Living, among others. For more information about the PASS program at your child's school, please contact the ESC specialist at the home school or district transition specialist assigned to your student's school. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, Veronica. Now we're going to hear from Amy Solomon at Atlantic Technical College. Good evening, Amy. And she's going to be presenting information on our access programs, which is available at Atlantic Technical College and at Sheridan Technical College.
Hi there, everybody. How are you doing? I just need 1 minute to share my screen. Right?
Looks good.
Okay, thank you for that heads up. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm here to talk to you about the Access program. We are located at Atlantic Technical and Sheridan Technical. We are a program that's going to, we like to look at our students as an entire person. So we're going to look at building independence as well as employability skill.
I
Our
cannot
main-
see the screen. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The screen is black.
I can see the screen. Can
anybody else see the screen?
Yes.
Yes,
I
I
can.
can see the screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I can see the screen as well.
So maybe the person that cannot see the screen, if you want to pop out and then come back in, that might help.
Okay,
Okay,
sorry.
sorry, Aim.
That's okay, not a problem, not a problem. So looking at those, we're looking at students with their pre-employability skills. We're looking at the soft skills and the hard skills that are needed for employment. We do have students who go out into the community. They are on job sites. They are training. We like to give them a wide range. So we try to pick something that maybe they're interested in doing. So for example, if they're interested in working with animals, we might work at a pet supermarket or find something that's within that industry that they're interested. If they're interested as working in the culinary department, we might try and get a job for them or training in a restaurant industry. When we are doing these trainings, it allows us to see the students, what their soft skills and hard skills are in real time. That way we know what we need to work on. We're also going to work on functional life skills. Do they know how to cook for themselves? Do they know how to grocery shop for themselves? Do they need to know those things that they're going to need further on in life? Also looking at transportation skills. We can get you the best job, most amazing job out there, but if you can't get there, then it's really not going to be meaningful to you. Also, I do have some students who do have a desire to continue on with their education. If they do have that desire to continue on to education, we're going to help them plan that out. Look at what their academic skills, do they have the skills they need? Are they ready for this? Just looking at them as a whole. And lastly, we're going to look at their social communication skills. Do they have relationships and friends? Are they going out and making plans? We want them to have that nice work-life life balance. So, you're not just going to work and coming home. You're going to work, maybe you're going out with some friends. We have a couple groups right now that are really, really taking off with that and doing a lot of things. And it's nice to see that they're doing things on the weekends and those types of things and saying, hey, I never had friends before, and now I feel like I have friends. We are a student-driven program. So as Stacy has talked about, as far as all of the deferment options, or not deferment, but everything that goes into deferment, once a student has received all of their graduation requirements, we don't have to have them in a reading class or a math class or things like that. So we're really letting the student drive what they want and helping them to find their voice. And then we're all about just creating a plan to help them get there. With that said, we are different than high school. So if a student does get a job, which ultimately that is our goal for all of our students, is to leave with employment. If they get a job and, let's say they're working at Home Goods, and Home Goods says they want them to work on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And then on Tuesday, they don't come to school and they're going to go to work. Obviously, we're going to have to travel train them, make sure they know how to get there. There is a job coach who goes in and checks in on them weekly. And then we'll just check in with the manager, maybe do some observations, make sure that the job site is going well and there's no concerns. If there are concerns, job coach brings it back to the classroom. When the student's back in class, we're going to work on that, but also the job coach will work on it while on the job site or whatever it may be. So a lot of our students do go about getting their jobs through that community-based instruction process, where they start out working, maybe their interview skills aren't strong, and then the managers are able to see them working and see that they're capable of doing the job, and then therefore we can sometimes turn that. We also have students who will go just the basic competitive route, where they're out there looking for what positions are available. They're going through the process of applying and interviewing with the managers, just as every other person does. So employment is top on our priority. We want to make sure that everybody who's leaving is leaving with a job. Those pre-employment skills, do they have, let's say if they want to work in retail, do they have money skills? Do they have customer service skills? If they want to work in an office, where are their computer skills, their filing, their academics? Soft skills we're going to look at, how's their attendance? Are they on time, dressing appropriately? All those types of things. Problem solving, dependability, taking initiative. We will also work on their pre-employment skills as far as resume writing, interview skills. We do 2 mock interviews every year, along with tons of practice of interview skills, tons. And then job searching. How do you use Indeed? How do you use some of those different job searching engines? Also just going out and hitting the pavement, walking around in their neighborhoods and seeing who's hiring based on the signs that are out, and going up and talking to managers. Building that independence, the self-advocacy, being able to talk to your manager, being able, if you do go on to post-secondary, getting their driver's license, travel training, building their social life, banking, budgeting, independent living, all those things that I've kind of already mentioned. Interested in the technical classes, if they meet requirements, passing the CASAs, grade point average, things like that, there is that option as well. Our next steps, Ms. Wolf already talked a little bit about in filling out the application, getting in touch with either me or Ms. Lynch, and waiting for that acceptance letter, and then we will schedule tours. So I think there's contact information. I think that kind of sums us up and gives an overview of everything that we do.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Okay, now we are going to welcome Liliana from ARC, and she is going to share information about our ARC agency program, which is called School of Hire.
Good evening. My name is Liliana Ballesteros, and I'm the Transition Services Manager for our Deferment Program at ARC Broward. Our Deferment Program is the School of Hire program, and we are located in the city of Sunrise. Our Deferment Program is a work-study program that is part of the Broward Schools. Again, Broward Schools Deferment Programs. We have the PASS program, College Prep program, the WOW program, Project Search Access, all the WBLEs, the career placement, and career dual enrollment. You can find these pamphlets in the browerschool.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about our deferment program. We provide a transition to adult services and what is life after high school. Our programs is a small program. Our ratio is to 24 students. We cap 24 students. So it's a small program that brings the opportunity to provide a little bit more individualized attention. We have about 10 work sites at the moment where we do our WBLE sites and training, and we provide also daily transportation to those sites. We have students that are going to be able, through our program, apply those hands-on experiences and all the skills that they're learning in the classroom. So our model really is from the classroom to the real life. We have a curriculum where we provide the flexibility of doing different activities that come up based on student interest and other curriculums that we have that are set to provide education in daily living skills, money management, employability skills, prevention, and also social skills, especially related to work. We have great connections to businesses that can eventually lead to employment. Another great tool that we have is that 6 months before the students graduate in our program, they attend a program or a small transition program at Artworks where they go once a week and they focus on what they really need the last 6 months. So they focus on the job training, pre-placement training, employment services, ticket to work services, Social Security, work incentive benefit counseling and planning, post-secondary certificate. So that's where they learn about the other post-secondary certificate programs that we have here at ARC, such as animal care, material handling, and culinary arts. That way, in the last 6 months, the students really get what they need to be able to transition successfully. So why Art Broward? Because it's a program that is smaller, like I said, is uniquely individualized. We provide a ratio of 1 to 4. Job coaching, we develop an IEP goal, and we also provide case management for the students. These are some of the workshops that we have at the moment. One of the newest ones that we have are Dunkin' Donuts and the Chateau Mar Golf Resort. So as you can see, it's a program that has a lot of different fields. You know, we have retail, food services, we have a supermarket, we have pharmacy, hotel. So So it provides really the students with different experiences. And one of the great things is that when the students are at the sites, they really get the training not only from the job coaches, but a lot of our managers are very hands-on with our students as well, and that is a great learning experience for us. So in our curriculum, we include very fun activities. We don't include, any academic activities. We include hands-on role playing, and especially the experience of going weekly up to 3 times a week to the work site. So that's something that the students really benefit from. As I said, we have connections with other businesses, and this really helps to. Another really cool feature is that we have a lot of guest presenters that come and talk to students about anti-bullying, all the prevention subjects like sexual abuse, pregnancy prevention, relationships, conflict resolution, and things like that. Our program, we have a unique pool of students that have all different types of disabilities. We really make sure that the students can get what is good for them. So we may have students that are able to drive, the students that are able to go to college after this, but we have other levels of students that are going to be as productive doing other things. The students at the School of Higher program have a micro enterprise that I had during the last at least 6-7 years. This is one of the pictures for the car wash. Right now, they're doing the Tasty Treats, which has been open since 2019, and that's where they sell the snacks and they do money management. They have to go around into customer services, marketing. They buy the snacks. So there's a lot of skills that they're learning through the micro enterprises. These are some of the cool activities that we do, like professional mock interviews. We take professional shots for them, and they're always recreating their professional image, making sure that they're looking professional, that they're looking the part so that they can get employment out in the community. Of course, creating long-lasting friendships. Right now, they have a group in the chat when they meet on the weekends, and it's really impactful when they can have that in their weekends in their own time. We make contact with the community. Here you can see some of the cleanups that they do as a community-based instruction. Thanksgiving with the Dora supermarket. We have some virtual in-person options as needed, like we know with the COVID was something that happened. We have really cool staff and an environment that is very, very inviting for the students to do well. So this is all for the moment. I'm gonna put my information in the chat. Like I said, right now we are capping at 24, so we are taking calls and registration inquiries from parents and other community entities. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Liliana Ballesteros, and I'm representing the School of Higher program at Arc Power. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liliana, and thank you everybody for presenting this evening. We are now going to stop recording, and we are going to open up the platform for parents to be able to ask questions about deferment and the deferment programs that were presented this evening. So if you'd like to